guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This guy is 26 years old, and he's writing in asking for my help as well as you guys about a situation he has with his girlfriend. As it turns out, his girlfriend of 3 years is a single MOM. And lately, he's been seeing a lot of shady behavior, and he's starting to think that she's cheating on him. Who would have thought? Monkey branch and that type of thing. And he wants to know how to handle the situation. Now, before you guys all leave, thinking I've heard this story more times than I can count, here's the deal. First off, this guy comes from another part of the world. His country is in Southwest Africa. The country is Namibia, if I can pronounce that correctly, which is located north of South Africa and west of Botswana. And I know this because I looked it up because I didn't know where the hell it was. There, you learned a geography lesson here. And to show you that this type of crap happens all over the world. Aside from the cool fact that this guy found my channel, he lives in the other side of the world, this type of thing happens everywhere, which means that this content, this material, has value everywhere. Men are men, women are women, everywhere. And two, the important thing in this video is what led this guy to get in a relationship with a gal like this, knowing full well it wasn't the best idea. So I'm going to go through his story here, and I'm going to help him out on two fronts, giving him my very predictable response to his situation, as well as information that can help this guy out so he's no longer in the situation to get in relationships with people like her that are going to take advantage of him. Because there's a lot of guys out there that feel just the way he does, as you're going to see. So he says, "Hi SSM. I'm writing in today looking for advice. I'm a new viewer to your channel all the way from Namibia." See if I have the Namibia. Okay. My girlfriend, a 26-year-old single MOM, and I, a 24-year-old male, have been together for 3 years now. Smack! And why are you with a single MOM? Well, you did say you're a new viewer, so okay, fair enough. You didn't know any better beforehand. Well, watch this. He says, "I've always been a nerdy kid that no girl would look at in high school. And even after that, I've still been a simp and no women would look at me." Well, right then and there, that explains why he's with the single MOM, because in his mind, he's worthless. No girls pay attention to him, so therefore, he has to pick. He has to take beggars can't be choosy. Well, we're going to work on that, and I'll come back to that. My parents weren't really well off, so after high school, I had to join my father's small business. He's a self-made mechanic and welder. After 3 years, I finally saved enough money and decided to go to trade school in the city about 5 hours away from my home. After about 6 months of school, a beautiful woman, let's call her Maria, introduced herself. So, you said all your life no girls paid attention to you. High school, when you got older in your 20s, and all of a sudden a beautiful woman's paying attention to you. This is when a lot of guys over here think, well, the movies were right. Eventually, I'll be a nice enough guy, a pretty girl will see my value. No. I mean, a pretty girl is just looking for a handout. I got to take care of her and her kid, or she's just looking to settle because she's getting close to 30. I'm sorry to say. To be honest, she was the first woman to show any interest in me, and I was immediately in love. Smack. Predictable, but I had to smack you. Think about it, guys. You spend your whole childhood, teenage years, 20s, no girl pays attention, and finally one does. Yeah, you're going to be in love. 4 weeks of dates and a couple $100 later, she finally gave it up. And that night, she told me she had a kid and had recently gotten out of a relationship with her high school sweetheart. So, of course, they're dating a month, and he said, a couple $100. Now, I'm guessing he means a couple $100 US, which is going to go way further in his part of the world, so a lot of money. And, oh, by the way, before we hook up, I'm a single MOM, I have a kid. You got to take care of me? And, of course, the guy who's in love and wants to get some, okay. That's why she moved away and has been finishing up her studies in this town. She's a teacher. Now here's where the problem started. After 2 years of being together, she finished her studies and got a job back in her hometown and had moved back. I trusted her, so I wasn't really worried about anything. Bro, you trust but verify. You always have to keep your eyes open for red flags. Especially if you're dealing with a single MOM, who, by the way, knows darn well that you obviously weren't exactly the ladies' man before. We're gonna help you with that, but still. Plus, she would visit her kid, who lived with his father, from time to time, and she'd be on the phone with me all night. So I knew she wasn't with her baby daddy or doing anything wrong. Well, just because the timetables don't line up doesn't mean that something isn't going on, my friend. Women all over the world, because we're dealing with a situation just like here in the West, can magically pull time out of their ass to be with Chad or Tyrone. And, after she moved back, she come to visit me every other weekend, twice a month. I was happy with that until I had a midterm break and wanted to visit her in her hometown. She gave me an excuse that she wasn't going to be in town that week because she had a workshop. I said okay, and we just continued to talk on the phone. After about a week, I wanted to visit again, and she gave me another excuse that she was with her kid that week and didn't want me to meet him yet. You've been with her for 2 years, you never had her kid yet? I mean, okay, that's less bullshit for you to deal with, but still, what does that say? And now all of a sudden, she's finding all these excuses not to come see her, where her ex, the baby daddy, is nearby. Gee, what a coincidence. No smoke there. That was back in March, and she still comes to visit me. But if I want to visit her, there's always an excuse. You mean a BS excuse? I tell her Monday that I want to come see her, and she'd say yes. But through the week, small things would come up, like family excuses. And by Friday, there would be an excuse for me not to come see her. I'd get jealous, but she'd always ask me, when will I get time to cheat on you? And don't you trust me? She actually said that, don't you trust me? Do you know how many guys have had that exact phrase said to them? Since we were forever talking on the phone, I don't really see when she'd realistically be cheating. Now that the year is almost over, I don't want to be dealing with the next year, and I have this feeling that something is going on. Trust your gut, brother. I need advice on whether to just cut her off and move on, or try to fix this. Thank you in advance. I'm going to cut to the chase. End it. These things don't add up right. You got in this relationship with her having all the power because she was the first girl to pay attention to you, and the first girl that obviously slept with, unless you hired a hooker or something. And all of a sudden now you haven't met her kid after 2 years. That's really strange. And now all of a sudden she's away and keeps finding excuses to not have you come by and see her or meet her kid or anything like that, or her family. I mean, that's ridiculous. Something tells me she's probably back with somebody else or her baby daddy, for all that matter. You just don't know. Guess what, my friend? I know you don't want to believe this, but yes, women cheat. Women lie. Even if you think that your girl's so great and she loves you so much, countless guys been in that situation, whether here in the West or in your part of the world. Same fucking thing. And I would, at the very least, my friend, before you do anything, I would make a surprise visit. I'd make if you need to do it for your own sanity, make a surprise visit and go. And you may think, oh, that's being sneaky, SSM. Well, you got to be. You got to fight fire with fire. So I say go have a surprise visit, and maybe that will tell you everything you need to know. But even then, this is just a bad situation. Something isn't right. Your gut is telling you that, and you got to listen to your gut. So I'd say end it with her and move on, and get involved with a woman that doesn't have any baggage like a kid, whose actions demonstrate that she cares about you and all that. Because what? Now you're seeing her twice a month? What the hell's the point in that relationship anymore? But the problem is that, and we're going to get to the real heart of the issue here, is why you got involved with her in the first place. You said to yourself you were a nerdy type when you were young, and therefore girls wouldn't look at you. Well, you know what? That's not a good feeling. I had a period in my life, up until high school, girls didn't pay much attention to me, and I hated it. I felt like a loser. It's very easy then just to take whatever you can get. You know, a lot of guys do that. But here's the thing. You say you're a nerd? Well, so the fuck what? Own it. There are nerdy guys who can get girls, because there's nerdy girls out there too. You know, there's a lock for every key, or a key for every lock, whatever you want to fucking call it. Own it. Be who you are and not give a shit. Because when you are who you are and not care what people think, that's attractive. That's confidence. And last time I checked, whether you're here or in your country, that I'm not going to try to pronounce again because I keep screwing it up, women like confidence. So be who you are and not care. Does that mean that you're going to get every girl? No. Not at all. But some will like you, and go from there. And if you want to do things to improve things better, okay, work on your people skills. Go out and talk to people. If you're not comfortable talking to girls, talk to dudes. Talk to anybody. Just practice talking. Then start talking to girls. Talk to women you're not attracted to. Some 80-year-old lady that works in the market. I don't care. Practice talking to women, and you'll get better with time. You know, the only way you get good at something is through practice. And the only way you get great at something is through a shitload of practice. Believe in yourself. Take it one step at a time, and you'll get there. And then you won't settle for the first girl that pays attention to you. Otherwise, you'll be back in this mess again. And if maybe you feel like your looks need to improve, okay, do some grooming, join a gym, get some exercise. If there's not a good gym in your area or it's a little too expensive for your budget, okay, you got YouTube. Look at videos for home workouts, things you could do at home with your own body weight, or a small investment in some dumbbells, and get yourself on a workout program multiple times a week. I guarantee in time, with proper diet and proper rest, you could transform your body to look better. When your body looks better, you're going to feel better, you're going to act better, more confident, and you're owning who you are, regardless if you're a nerd or not. And that will help you attract women, and therefore you have some choice. And you're not going to settle for the first girl to pay attention to, who's, by the way, a single MOM that has the same baggage here that in your country as I do over here. So that's what I think. So yes, cut ties with her, but if you got to do some recon, go do a surprise visit and see for yourself. But it might take a few visits to really, see what you need to see. And if she is in fact cheating, I'm sorry for you, man. Obviously someone you deeply care about, but many guys have been in this situation. So you can either go down the path you are, which is not a good one, or you can make a change. We all have the ability to make change. You're 24, you got your life ahead of you, and this can be the moment you look back in your life in years to come and say, this is where I made a major change and had a major turning point. So that's what I think. And I want all you guys that are watching this, that may be like him in some capacity, to take my words to heart. You can make a change. Do things, own who you are. Make the changes where you need to make changes, improve upon things. And then, again, this is for your relationship guys, and there will be women that will like you. But you have to own who you are and like yourself and not give a shit. And have confidence. Not being a dick, but just being confident in who you are. And you'll attract some gals, and you'll have this knowledge that you gain from this channel, and hopefully you'll be all right. But otherwise, you just take what you can get, and guess what? Women are attracted to guys that aren't going to treat guys very well when they know their guy's desperate, when they know that they're their only option. Trust me. So, I hope you make the right choice. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think in the comments section. Maybe some of you have been in his shoes. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.